Hello. In this lecture, we're going to do some more work with strings and do some string formatting. We're also going to write some interactive programs where we display messages to the user and get input from the user. Let's get started. We'll call Python's built-in function print, passing a single argument to the function call. In this case, we'll pass the string hello, and hello will be displayed to the screen. Notice that when hello is displayed, it's displayed without the quotation marks. The quotes are only for Python's internal string representation, and they're not seen by the user. Let's call print again, passing a mathematical expression as an argument to the function. In this case, the expression is 3 plus 7 minus 3, and that expression will first be evaluated and then printed to the screen. We'll call print a third time, passing in two arguments this time, two strings, hello and there. And when the strings are displayed, they're displayed with a space between them by default. So hello space there is what's printed to the screen. Now we will define two functions. We'll define the functions in a file named calc.py that I've already created and saved. Both functions will calculate the square of a number. One function will return that result, and the other will print it. We begin the function definition with the word def, and the name of this function is square return. It will take a single parameter, I'm calling this num, and the job of this function is to return num to the power of 2. The second function, its name will be square print. It also has a single parameter, num, and it's also going to calculate the square of num, but rather than returning that value, this function will print it. In a moment, we will call these two functions from the shell. I'd like the output of the call to print to look different from the value returned by square print. To do this, I'm adding a string to the list of arguments for the print function call, so that it will display the square of num is before the squared number. The next step is to run the module. We'll go to the Run menu and choose Run Module, and now we have access to the two functions in the shell. We're going to call these two functions, and we will store the result of calling those functions in a variable. So the variable answer return will get the result of calling the function square return. We're going to pass an argument to square return, and I'm picking the value 4. I could pick any value here, but I'm using 4 just as an example function call. It's now time to run the function. When this function executes, we want to watch to see whether anything is printed. And we can see, when we execute it now, that we immediately get the prompt, so nothing was printed to the screen by square return. Next, we want to check the value of the answer return variable. And we can see that answer return refers to the value 16. So square return returned the memory address of 16, and that memory address was stored in the answer return variable. Now it's time to call the function square print. We'll also pass the value 4 as the argument. We could have picked anything. And we see this time that something is displayed to the screen. The square of num is 16. Next, we'll examine the contents of the variable answer print. And this time, we don't see anything. When a function does not have a return statement that gets executed, Python will return none, and that's what happens in this case. Because answer return refers to a numeric value, we're able to use it in a mathematical expression, such as multiplying it by 5. However, answer print does not refer to a numeric value. We get an error message in this case because it refers to the value none, which is of type none type.